one by one, and you can introduce yourself. You can either use your real name, or if you want to make up a nickname, or nickname, that's fine. But so we'll go around one at a time. Say your name. Say where you either live or work in the neighborhoods that we're talking about, either Mantua or Powelton. And then just how long you've been living here. So we'll do a quick introduction so we all know who each other are, and then we'll start with the questions.
Okay.
Yes?
If you don't work, and I don't live in community, but just my church is in community.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so your connections to the community, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, please.
My cousin.
Welcome.
Welcome. And so we're,
Emergency center.
Oh,
so right now we're just going around and saying what our name is and what our connection to the Mantua Powelton area is. So we'll begin.
Sure, yeah, my name is Tony. I live in Powelton Village, down on Barrett Street, and I've been in the neighborhood for, I don't know, since, I'm trying to think, 92, maybe, 91. I was a student at Drexel for a while, but I've been living, I bought a house in Barrett Street for 99, so yeah, so after graduating. Been involved with Powelton Village Civic Association for a couple of years, and involved with the Powell School, home and school group there. So, is that enough for more information?
Yeah. Social security number. My name's Al Reeves. I work for Weber Metalcraft over on 615 Shedwick Street. I've been there for approximately 4 years. My boss Matt has been there for 40 years. We're a custom metal shop. I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, if you're from the neighborhood or whatever. The process that's going on now is Matt is finally going to step back a little bit. He's going to retire. He's 75 and he's, he wants to enjoy life a little bit. So I am in the process of going to take over. I would like to be involved in the community, see what the community is about. It looks like it's up and coming. The shop is probably about 150 years old. We still have leather belt driven machinery in the shop. It's kind of like a working museum, and I want to keep it that way. I want to capture the heritage that's there, the handcraft work, keep the art in the community. We do work for the Art Museum, the Rodin Museum, the Barnes Museum. Most of our work is Chester County, Montgomery County. I live in Bucks County, and I want to take it that way too. But this is going to be the heart right here. So I'm very friendly with a lot of people in the neighborhood. Everybody's, people come in and they've been there. They're little kids and they've known Matt for. Now they're grown adults with their own kids, and it's the atmosphere is really nice. I like it, so that's where I'm at. So nice to meet y'all.
James Wright. I am the commercial corridor manager for People's Emergency Center. Been there for about 5 years. Before working at PEC, I worked up in New Kensington doing similar stuff. Southwest Philly native. Still live in West Philly now. As a corridor manager, we do a lot of things on Lancaster Avenue, involving business development, business attraction and recruitment, and retention, actually, and some of the arts. So.
I'm Jimmy Allen. I'm a neighborhood resident since 1948. I grew up with Young Great Society, Manchester Community Planners, many organizations down here at Metropolitan Baptist Church. I went to McMichael, went to Vietnam, went to college, came back a teacher. I've been one of the founders of the Young Great Society of Manchester Community Planners. I'm now with the West Philly Coalition. We do neighborhood reach out.
Again, just the fire alarm. They're having some fire drills this morning. Apologies.
Worked in this center for many years at Rodney Boys Club, crime prevention, helped get $2.5 million to build this building. Now I'm glad to be back with this group to try to get it open to do some other things. I'm just glad to be here. I'm a returning from a former focus group, but this is so real, this is so doable. I
Okay, project.
She's a professional, she is.
You gotta project.
Hi, my name is Artie Stewart Brown. I grew up at 3515 Wallace Street. I moved there when I was 4 years old, and I'm now 66, so I've been around. I've seen a lot happen in this neighborhood over the years. I got married, went to college, got married. We raised our children at 49th between Springfield and Chester. And I'm back here. I now live at 36 and Lancaster. So I'm still right around the corner. This has been a wonderful, wonderful place to be raised and exposed to the arts. I am so happy to be here and listening to what your plans and objectives are. I feel that now, yay, I'm going to be around people that I know. We're on the same page. My background is the arts. I have a master's in dance from Temple, undergraduate degree from Howard University in English and playwriting. And so one thing to make sure that this would happen is to get involved with the young people, because that's where it should be. All young people should either know what a bassoon sounds like, know what a violin is, know what graceful movements are, and that they can do that themselves and be creative. If we don't let them do it, they're going to turn off. And you've already seen that's already happened.
Prisons.
So right now, and I want to do some prison theater too.
Okay. Okay.
Because creativity is inspiring and is healing.
Yeah.
It's healing. So already they've taken the arts out of the school system, so that's one thing
Yeah,
that's
that's
hurtful.
scary.
And I used to teach in the school system until my sister and I opened our own School of the Arts. Opened in 1980, September 15th, the Spring School of the Arts. We introduced children 18 months to kindergarten to music, dance, drama, and visual arts. They are fantastic.
Absolutely.
The oldest graduates are now about 36, going on 37 years old.
Wow.
So for 32 and a half years, and prior to then, I had my studio, you know, all that thing, and arts, that's my life. And so now, what happened? And then when Jimmy told me about you guys, I said, there's some more people who love what I love. Well, I'm going to be home. I'm going home. And if this is something that becomes a passion, that's our job. No excuses. No money, so do it in the street. Aristotle's taught in the street. Why not? That's where the children are.
That's where they are.
So if we can get the kind of art that is evoking, we'll have it. What else should I say?
No, you should have moved on.
There we go.
You need a fire alarm
She was
back.
great. No, that was great. I just got to tell you, it was very, very inspiring for me to see you guys, seriously. And all the people around this table. It's a new day, a new mantra, a new Drexel, new businesses, spiritually, fighting in the community. I mean, there's something special going on here. I'm done.
Hi, my name is Dorothy Diggs, and I grew up between West Philly and Southwest Philly. I first grew up right there on 41st and Aspen Street. I went to Belmont School, and the church that I go to is 3909 Lancaster Avenue, Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. And it's been there now for 40 years, and we just got a new pastor who came in March. And we a small group of people, but we try to be a community outreach-based church. And we had our second fall festival, which was Saturday, and the Lord blessed that it didn't rain, so everything just went well. And at our church, we have like a second and third floor that have been empty since 1974. And our thing is, the vision that I have is for it to be a place where we can have after-school homework, or we can do computer classes, we can have, you know, drug counseling and all those type of stuff there. The thing for us is, since we're a small group, is the no money, trying to get a grant to get it. I know I had it checked out, and it would cost us between $300,000 and $400,000 to do what we need to do, as gutting it out and redoing it up there. So we really wanted to be something that's great for the community, great for the community so that we can help the children and the people that's in the community that really needs help. And another thing I liked about it was, you know, I was thinking that we was gonna put up there was a dance class for kids to learn praise dance and all different types of dance.
Absolutely.
So these are the things we want to do in that building. So if I could get help just to get that building together, that would be beautiful. And I am like the church financial secretary, I am the church administrator, and I am a deaconess at the church, so.
Wonderful.
And my pastor name is Pastor David Pigeon, so. You
His
know,
mom just passed away.
yeah.
No memorial, but
Yeah.
no circle today.
Well, we're all connected.
Thank you much. And we'll move on.
Okay, my name is Louis Dix. I'm now a member of Pleasant Grove Baptist Church. My wife just explained the whole detail, so I don't have to go into
That's what we do.
the format of explaining to you all what's going on in 3909 Lancaster Avenue. Well, we're into the outreach of, my objective is to bring in those who need, like homeless people, shelters, giving them the needs that they have and finding out the things that they need. In saying that, I'm saying like they come in like they don't have tokens, they don't have money for food or something like that. And it's always good to be helpful to those who are in need. I'm now a member of Fresh Start, Exodus Baptist Church. I go to the prison ministry in Chester, minister to the inmates and those who get out. I'll be a mentor to. So I'm just trying to reach out to those who are in need, those who are in prison, those who are incarcerated, whatever their needs are. You know, the church should be able to help. You know, the church is like a hospital to people. So I just try to do my part. Now that I'm retired from 2012, me and my wife retired. And now this is like going into the first year, so we're trying to get all this stuff kicked off. You know, being from jobs and, you know, it's like, it takes a while, but it's still, it's like a fresh start, you know, in our life, and we're trying to help those who are in need and just reach out to people in this community, in the Manchu community too, because there's so many people around here. I say we live up in the northeast, but we commute every day, drive back and forth down.
Thank you.
So I just love this area.
Thank you.
And I grew up in West Philly too, on 41st and Parkside. So I'm familiar with the area.
I also wanted to say too that we started the Angel Tree Ministry too for children that parents have parents that are incarcerated. At our church, we started that so that at Christmas time, you know, we take and give them a gift.
Beautiful.
You know, me and my husband took and delivered like
What's
the
the name of it
23
again?
Angel Tree Ministry.
Oh.
I do have a thing in my pocket.
Yeah,
I'll give
I'll
it to
get
you
you some
later.
stuff.
So we did 23 families. The Lord blessed us to be able to do it. We bought toys, and me and my husband delivered to on Christmas Eve up in Northeast, all over, you know, for the 23 families we had. And that was a blessing just to see the children. They, you know, when you go into the houses, they are so grateful and thankful just to get those toys. And the parents will give a message to them, and we put the message on the card, on the toy, and give it to them. And it's just beautiful to see that.
Wonderful. Thank you. And let's move on.
Hi, my name is Kenty. First generation in this country. My parents are from the Bahamas. I am an OSHA certified hazmat grad. I'm an artist model, and I'm a fine gardener. I have a community garden around the corner at 3616 Spring Garden. We guerrilla gardened an abandoned lot that we're told used to be the musician Wilson Pickett's home before it burned down and became an abandoned lot and a blight. We've been there for 17 years. The garden is under threat of development, and we would like to maintain our garden, or at least get another suitable parcel in the same area, hopefully. And my art is gardening. It's a community resource. The building next door, we were involved in Kylo. They are a government-funded program that deals with people with mental issues and drug and alcohol issues, and our garden was the first outdoor classroom for Kylo's art program. So I have a vested interest in the community. 17 years, 12 of it I lived at the Tiberino Memorial Museum, that artist community up the street, and gardening is my passion. It's my lifestyle. It's plants, it's herbs, it's flowers. It's something beautiful. You feel your day doesn't go right, you go to your garden, you give, it gives back to you. And it's just nice to walk down the street with a basket of produce and hand stuff to neighbors sitting on the porch. And I don't know what else I can contribute, but that's basically why I'm here.
Wonderful,
So,
thank
and
you.
to meet my neighbors.
Great, wonderful. So we're just going around saying our name, our connection to Mantua Powelton.
Thank you. I'm sorry that I was late, everyone. My name is Officer Erica Parker, and I know most of you around the table.
Uh-oh.
No, that's on a good note.
I didn't do it. I swear.
I been in this community, working in this community for this February will be 23 years. My whole entire career has been here in the 16th district area. I've been doing community relations. I'm the community relation officer. Each district has a community relation officer. And what I do is I outreach to the community. Pleasant Grove Baptist Church is wonderful, wonderful giving back, Ms. Dottie, giving back to the community. I sit on different boards and I go to different meetings. I work closely with clergy members in this area, the churches in this area. I sit closely with leaders in this area, block captains, town watch. And Mantua area has, since I've been here, Mantua has definitely made a change, the Mantua area. Yes, it has. And I've been here since 1992. And I've definitely seen some changes in the Mantua area for the better. And just, I'm just here to help my community. I feel like, I don't even live in this community, but I've been working in this community for so long. I just feel like a part of this community. And I'm here to just help out any which way that I can.
Thank you.
Hello, again, sorry, I was also a little bit late. My name is Joseph Iacona. I'm a professional artist. I live and work in Fishtown, but right now I'm actually doing a residency down the street at the Mantua Rec Center, Wright Rec Center. I'm there as part of an artist in residence program through the Philadelphia Museum of Art, the Philadelphia Mural Arts. And the program is called A2O, so it's about art and artists outdoors. So we're doing an educational residency, talking about sustainability, how to protect our water source, different things like that, and incorporating it into a mural. So we're doing an after-school thing on Tuesdays and Thursdays with 10 to 15-year-old kids. They're kind of helping me design the mural. We're doing a lot of different kind of things. We're going to the waterworks. We're kind of working in partner with them, learning a lot about Philadelphia history with water. And kind of using art as a kind of spin to talk about things. I have done a lot of residencies in West Philadelphia. I was at West Philadelphia High School with the Museum of Art, which is when I met them. I also work with another outreach program called the Claymobile, which goes to a lot of different schools. You might have seen our van kind of coming around. We also see the Youth Study Center on Saturdays, which is for juveniles and detention centers. So I've been all around the city, even though I'm part of Fishtown. But I have to say that the last 2-3 weeks while I've been here, I've had a great response from the community and the kids that I've been working with. So,
Great.
What was your name?
Joseph Iacona.
Joseph Iacona? Okay.
Wonderful. Well, now we all know each other, and let's get into the nitty gritty. And you guys have definitely started to touch on the questions that we have here, so we're already headed in a good direction. So first, just in general, and before I ask the question, so I'm going to read the questions twice in a row so that you have 2 chances to really let the full question sit in, because some of them have multiple parts. So the first question we're going to talk about is, What do you consider to be arts and cultural activities, and what does the term arts and culture mean to you? So, what do you consider to be arts and cultural activities? What does the term mean to you? And I'm just gonna write down, one side for art, one side for culture, and obviously there may be some connection. And I'll just open the floor to whoever wants to speak. What is art and culture?
In a sense, I think they are very closely knit because our culture is designed by our art. And those of us who are in the arts know that it's basically something that we design almost every day.
Yeah.
Because we see it, we interpret it, and then we present it. And it becomes a part of your visual, so therefore your culture is certainly stimulated by the art that you see and you feel. And that's what our society basically, I feel, is based on, and that's why I'm afraid. I'm serious.
Art is creative expression.
And what activities are art activities? What activities are cultural activities?
I mean, I think there's, even though there's the definite connection, cultural kind of leans more to historical, society type stuff. Whereas art, there's a connection. You can't really split it completely, but some art can be detached from where it is, or even a people group. It can be individualized, whereas culture is more group-based, I guess.
So what was the question?
What are arts activities, cultural activities?
Well, I wrote down earlier, without the arts and without the arts and different cultural experiences, you have crime. If these kids don't learn to value their communities or arts or particular areas of cultural development and changes, we have crime. So that's why in our community we have more crime than cultural things or arts, because we don't have nothing for them. We don't bring nothing to them. This is a good group that could restore that. This building needs building, other places like this, other universities involved in their areas, because all around the areas of community, look in the crime section, you got crime, because they have no jobs, no arts experience, no cultural experiences, and if they do, it's negative, so we have problems.
And also to touch on what you said when you were doing your introduction, you mentioned a claymobile, murals. So I would say these two are, so what, clay working? Clay?
And speaking of murals, the mural program, Anti-Graffiti, got started with us here, 34th Street. Anti-Graffiti was Tim Spencer. We took all the little kids writing all over the subways and all this, and made them into an arts culture program. Now, when Tim passed away, they made it the city's mural program. But it started right here. And many times we do things we don't get no credit for. They cut them, they take them over, and we end up no jobs, no more experiences, and back to crime.
So, and from that, it sounds like art and cultural activities are also opportunities for development, but also something that can be taken away from the group of creators.
And it also stops violence and stuff, because they learn different behaviors, okay? They learn how to act when you go to the school or to the center. They learn how to act when people come in to help them do things and all, and they change their attitudes. If they don't have that change their attitude, they become negative, and they resort back to what they know, So it's very important that you have arts programs and cultural programs, and it's very important that the surrounding people who are building all over the place, you can see buildings going up and everything, but nothing fumbling down to the communities. So right around the corner, they have I wrote this down, the Dorn
Safe, yeah.
Okay, and it's supposed to be a partnership program. She needed a partnership, she needed a partnership, we need a partnership, they gave us nothing. So now, is this the new Drexel, or is this the old Drexel? That's what I'm looking at today. I'm looking at, if this is the new Drexel, this is a very good thing. If it's the old Drexel, you're going to end up buying the lots and the students doing this and that, because they know where the finances are. Penn knows where it is. They're paying their people to move into the neighborhoods and buy buildings and all. Well, that's good. But how about fixing up what's there? We lost family histories, historical buildings, and all kind of stuff based on universities. So we panic when we see them. But when I saw you guys, I saw a different type of environment and different things. And we need this. We need to work together and save some lives and build up some communities.
Wonderful. And are there any other, like just general comments on what is an activity of art and what is an activity of culture? And I guess metalworking too would be.
Absolutely.
Gardening.
Buildings.
Gardening.
Gardening, yeah. Gardening,
She has that up there.
I would say gardening.
And dance,
Yeah,
dance, okay.
dance.
Dance is arts and culture, because
Yeah.
we have multi-ethnic groups here, and they all have their little thing, and all around the city. So you had the Polish Parade, and you had and it's important that if we can learn to appreciate one another, if we can teach them the different dances and the different cultural dresses and all, they'll have more respect for them when they see them. They won't laugh and fuss and fight about it. They'll have a better understanding. They can make international friends. So that's a possibility.
Oh, and I'd like to add the comment, since this is also a culturally diverse neighborhood, I'm not against, the college students, but I want to know, do the college students have a vested interest in the community? Or are they just transient, okay, 4 years school, graduate, gone? And then where does that leave the people that do have a vested interest in the community, that are families, about their property taxes going up?
Yeah.
A lot of these schools are offering professors thousands of dollars to take up residence in Politan Village and University City.
Tony, I'm interested to hear what your perspective on that.
On specific?
On Kenty's comment about transient students, and what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like, for the most part, students go to school, and then after school, they feel like they have to go someplace else to prove themselves. I mean, I think if they stay at the school area, they feel like they haven't progressed on, and to their peers, they look like, I haven't moved on, I haven't gotten that great job, or, they went to school to get a job, so most people do, and if they don't move, I mean, I've been asked that a lot of times, and why haven't I left the neighborhood? I just really like the neighborhood, so it seems easy. So, but that's kind of the feeling that I have. I know a lot of people, like young, after they graduate, young adults, they like to either move to a place to get a job or move to like what they consider the happening part of Philadelphia. You got Fishtown, you got Fairmont's got a happening vibe, maybe moving downtown, stuff like that. In this area, it's not like that. It's not like a club scene. It's not like a
No hipsters.
Yeah, it's not a hipster place. It's not. I mean, it's not.
Anti-hipster.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's what we're looking
Pretty
for.
hipster, man.
And I've always seen that students, I mean, for better or worse, I mean, that's a transient part of their lifestyle, is that they come to school and then they move on to whatever next big thing they want to do,
So that's a function of culture.
I think it is. I think it's a function of the culture there.
So what's the draw? What's the keeper here? It's building the arts and the culture in the community to, not to say, you don't have to build a hipster, but just why have you stayed so long? What's the interest?
I thought the neighborhood was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, the Philadelphia has a lot of different neighborhoods, but when in Politan Village has a lot of green, has a lot of front yards and gardens, and then there. We have a little house that has a little garden in front of it, which is, it's not great, but it's pretty. I mean, it's not like you live in a place that doesn't have green. I really like green. And I just feel like it's a quieter area, except for the student partying part. I don't like the hipster thing. I mean, it doesn't do
But
anything
how
for
about
me.
accessibility?
Plus, accessibility for me.
Transportation.
You work right downtown, so it's so easy to get down there.
The
So.
accessibility, you got all the trusses and trains running by 30th Street Station and expressway to the airport. So you're living in a very, very accessible neighborhood.
Correct.
I don't want to sound negative, so I guess I shouldn't have said that.
No, you have to
That's
check it out.
But this is my lean. I went to Howard University in Washington. I didn't want to live there.
Yeah.
The point is that we don't, it is not important that they stay. What is important is what they do when they're here. I speak to everybody on my way here. I spoke to at least 8 students. They didn't see me, they didn't hear me, they didn't look at me. They had their earphones. If they didn't have earphones, they still didn't look at me. And you can see, I've helped everybody. This is how I was raised in 35th and Wallace. This is what Philadelphia down the bottom. Everybody is coming. This is what you're coming to. Don't deny who we are. That's not fair. Take some of it and take it with you back home. Take it with you wherever you go, because this is an extremely important time in your lives. I sent 3 children. I sent 3 children off to college, and then, to be honest, I told them, don't come back. And I'm not going to miss them. I have 5 grandchildren, and you know we go to see them. Of course, they're in Nashville, Tennessee, California, and now in Virginia Beach. They were in Oklahoma, but because of I knew our city and I saw it.
Going down.
I said, I'll kill somebody if they kill my children, because we're educators. Us not educators. We know what you're not doing. So come here, give some change, learn from us. Stay here, please, if you like. But don't ignore what you found when you were here. I'm a Philadelphian. I speak. People ask, you must be from Philly. You speak to everybody. That's what I was taught. This is our neighborhood. Don't change it.
Yeah, in addition to what she said, I'm used to a neighborhood when I lived around here where you can borrow the proverbial cup of sugar.
In 2 eggs.
Or they watch your kids or watch your house. You didn't have to lock your doors. You didn't have to have bars on your car and things. But back to the question, staying here and leaving. Many people have chosen to stay here because the very same reason, like you say, it's a beautiful place, it's a nice place and all. And then we have the opposite. Many people see investment opportunities. Many people see changes that they can profit from. And I don't have a problem with you profiting, but don't forget the people that you profiting through or over. See what I'm saying? Mike Milton told me a long time ago, he went to Penn, he said, I could have stayed here and made a couple $1 million a year. I went to California, I made $100 million. So, you see what I'm saying? So, different people have different opportunities and different reasons why they come and stay. Some people just want to be with their families or the level they came from, they just need an education. But the ones that stay here are the ones I'm concerned about. Because why are you staying? What are you doing while you're here? You have a right to have a beautiful family, make a lot of money, do things, but you don't have a right to wipe out a community or disregard heritage and businesses and all. And rather than support our businesses, knock us out, put your business in. Rather than supporting building our homes and all, knock us out and build yours. I got a problem with that.
I think I just want to put under the art column. I like how you put the metal work in there, because sometimes people don't always consider that art. They kind of consider it as a creative profession. You know,
Craft more, I guess.
Craft more. But it isn't. It is. It is, you know, if you put it under the big tent type thing, art.
Look at the clothespin.
So exactly. So
art is I mean, it's art's everywhere.
It really is.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to start this conversation.
And what we do over there is, it's I'm holding to the tradition. It's real easy to go and get something fabricated from a computer or very static techniques. Everything we do is hands-on. It's creating from your mind to your hand. It's keeping the old traditions alive.
Right.
I think we have enough technology to survive. You know what I mean? I think we're good.
Absolutely.
So when we lose our heritage and we lose, those basic skills, that our kids are basically lacking. There's, people say that there's no jobs out there, and there is, but there's just nobody teaching your kids the skilled trades anymore.
Right.
When I was in school, you don't want to go to tech school. That's for dummies. Now
metal shop.
That's the main thing.
There is no metal shop anymore.
There's nobody to fill those jobs anymore. The guys that know how to do it, the skilled craftsmen, they're all retiring. And there's anything. The beauty of the churches, and I did a workshop at, I don't know if you're familiar with Bernathen Cathedral. it's a national landmark. It's just, the heritage there is just extraordinary, and the craftsmanship. And, you know, I went back to learn those skills that were used. They can't die. You know, you need to teach the kids that it's okay to work with your hands.
Yes.
It's not, you know, get dirty, get some cuts, get some scrapes. You know, don't sit in a chair all day and stare at a computer. You know, a computer's a tool. It's not
It's not an absolute.
it's not the be all end all of everything.
Yeah.
And if it breaks down, we're in trouble.
That's what I mean.
Shut it down to be like the government.
Exactly. Like
just
if you
wanted
can't, yeah, if you can't fix something with your hands, like what are you gonna do?
But I'm impressed with what you said, I'm sorry, Jim, because of who he works with. The Barnes Foundation, the Art Museum.
Yeah.
I mean, places like that. And Matt was there, I remember he was there before Matt. That place has been there forever, and he's busy. You always see them taking trucks in and bringing trucks out and things like that. So it is important that we keep some of that stuff going on. And that's important for this.
And so, and this moves on to our next question, which is what arts and culture activities exist in, you know, the Mantua Palatine area for youth, you know, or youth and families together. So either for kids or for families. So again, what arts and cultural events and activities exist in the neighborhood for youth and families? And, you know, if you have like in
Used to
mind
be a lot.
specific events.
Used to be a lot.
What exists now?
We had restaurant training school, we had auto mechanic shop, all that stuff. And it was
Now,
funded-
what exists
It was
now?
funded, yeah, I'm saying to you, it was funded by church too. They stopped funding it, we don't have it anymore, okay? So a lot of people can't afford to set up these type of programs that are beneficial to us, okay? And they just can't do it.
But what we're looking for now is we as researchers, we're not embedded in the community like you guys, so we want to know what's here now. Like
Okay.
what can kids do, what can families do together
There's the
here?
Community Education Center at 35th and Lancaster. They have African drumming and dance classes and whatnot over there, you know.
I think that's about the only one that is
And
officially
then we-
set up.
then it-
Officially.
I hate to keep plugging myself, but with my garden, we had programs where we worked with the neighborhood children and had luau's and had paint
Sure.
parties and stuff like that, and I have it documented.
Yeah, now that being said, you know, what's to prevent, you know, down at Clark Park? You know, they have, I've done work there for that community down there. Now what's
They have stuff every single weekend.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
mean.
Spider
What's-
Cube Puppet
what's-
Theater.
I would be,
I don't know what
I'd be
happened to
tickled
them.
pink to have like a community day or whatever here. I'm not even from here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It takes me an hour to get here every day. You know what I mean? I'm from the suburbs, but you know, wouldn't stop to have, you know, community. I can bring a portable forge out in, you know, outside, you know, and you can bring the garden stuff, or you know, set up just like a community day.
Put the forge in the garden in
I
the
could
back.
put the, yeah, I mean, I could teach the kids, you know, how to, you know, and clay is a big part of. I went to a blacksmithing seminar out in like Western Pennsylvania, but one of the things that you teach the kids is with clay, like metal. When you heat metal, the consistency is almost clay-like. So when the little kids, you can't teach them forge, but you give a little hammer and clay, and you teach them how to work it. You know, that's the same consistency, and you teach them a skill. You know, what's to say, you know, we can't get a community together and everybody bring something to the table, you know, and show the kids that, you know, there's something that, you know.
We had a drill team, the lady that was here the last time, she had a dance troupe. They couldn't get funded, they couldn't get a place to rehearse, they couldn't get funding and stuff, so it ceased to exist. So a lot of our stuff is only temporarily. And when they go from the arts and cultural things that we're just talking about to nothing, we have more crime and more drug dealers and more everything and anything. She knows that, okay? So we need to think about reinventing the wheel, okay? But make it more modern.
And so I know you said you've had some residencies here working with kids. What kind of stuff have you done?
Well, a few different things. The one in West Philadelphia at the high school there was a residency that was actually based about, again, about science, and it was about looking outdoors and seeing what's around you and everything. We were studying some local trees that are planted around in West Philadelphia and stuff like that. The one now, like I said, is kind of more about the Schuylkill River and kind of how it's shaped this area. Funny enough, actually, we're having 2 community days for our event, which I will leave flyers for you. To kind of like invite everybody out, to kind of see what we're doing, see a little activity for the first one, and the second one will be kind of the unveiling of our mural, which is going to be in playground that's on Brandywine between 34th and 33rd. It's a really nice playground.
It's the
New-
park. We
new
built that
stuff.
park. We
Yeah,
built that
exactly.
park.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. A little bit of graffiti and stuff in there, so, you know, that's the whole front of that building already has all this mural. That's
Right
what I'm
in front of
excited
that building was Tim Spencer mural, who did the mural program, and now you put up a mural, and they covered it up.
And they cut, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of.
So we
weird
talking about
politics and that
activities,
stuff,
we
so.
had a lot, we don't have many now, but that's a good thing.
But,
And yes,
Well, our church, my pastor, he's just started a Primetime Kids. It's going to be starting this Monday, and it's a faith 40-week after-school program. It's developed by Scripture Union and the Salvation Army, which, you know, which I'm reading with because it's not my project. But we conducted at our church on, starting the 21st, which is arts and crafts and helping the children with this, schoolwork and teaching them, also the Bible and stuff like that. So we're starting that. So we're trying to, do things to help in the community.
all right, so, and there's things at church, there's residencies, and so on your community relations positions, have you seen, especially since you've been here for so many years, like what kinds of things have you seen that are, hopefully still around now, if anything, for youth and families?
Well, there's like over the years, there's been a lot of cuts. I must say that there's not a lot of things for the children to do, honestly. And you see the children hanging out on the corners crying. So I can, honestly say that in the metro area that you're talking about, there's not a lot for the youth. Not in the metro area.
So I guess I forgot to mention that, and this is like with the stretch where you creative versus arts idea, because we have a teen technology program.
Okay.
We talk about computers. It's not really arts right away, but it's hopefully setting them on the path to get more into digital type art stuff. But then Mighty Writers just moved to the
I was going to
Avenue.
mention that.
So that's
Yeah.
writing arts. And that's
Right.
really,
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
actually a
on
really
Lancaster.
impactful program.
Yes.
Now, it's
I didn't know what
actually
that was.
60
Yeah.
kids.
wow.
Right,
They get like
writers,
60
right,
kids a day
writers.
in
Right.
South Philly at their South Philly site. Right now, they're only at about 15 kids, but the anticipation is that they'll get 60 kids.
Okay.
And they do this crazy wraparound thing where they have the volunteers working during the after school program, then they have the workshops afterwards. The workshops get really interesting because you go away from the homework help to more like the creative writing. For like kindergartners, they do like a whole workshop session on Claudia with the Chance of Meatballs and how meteorology connected to the art and that cartoon, whatever it was, to make that whole thing. And they all kinds of creative writing sessions.
And there's
Sports
never
writing,
been,
blues.
there's never been horticulture between Mantua and Popham Villas. There's never been programs where Mantua and Popham Villas just do things together, never.
Okay.
In my profession, a lot of the parents, here they come, they say, well, my children don't have anything to do. And, this community has a lot of different meetings, a lot of different activities, that goes on. And you get the same folks to come out to the same meetings.
Same thing.
And you try to draw people in to come, so you can get your children involved in these activities.
Yeah.
But if there's not some type of incentive, the folks are like, well, I don't want to, be involved. I don't want to, I don't, I try to, come on out and share, get this information, so your children can, be involved, your grandchildren. A lot of grandparents are taking care of their grandchildren these days in time. Come on out and get the information. So I don't know if we can try to get the parents and the grandparents to come out and be more involved in the community. It would be helpful, to get the resources.
What does it take to get people out? You said you try to get people out.
Erase the memory where they kicked around and pushed around by universities and political people looking for monetary gains, okay? There was a time with Young Race Society, we had everything going on down here. Trust me when I tell you. We had all kinds of training programs. We had city giving us jobs, we gave guys jobs. It was in 74, No Gang was in 74. We shut down a whole lot of stuff. For many years we shut it down. And then what happened? Political people changed, so the policies changed. University officials changed, so the university had participation changed. Without funding, okay, without guys like you guys looking into this kind of stuff and actually doing something about it, without people actually putting something in, you get nothing out. And these people have been disappointed, kicked around, and let down for so long. Ain't no families from Popham Villas going to have an affair and invite the children from Mantua. They just ain't going to do it. We'll have something open to everybody. They won't even come because there's a class separation. It still exists, it's worse than ever. However, this is an opportunity with guys like this sitting around the table, all of us sitting around the table saying, but this is what we really need. This is what we're responsible for.
And that's a perfect segue into our next question, which What are the barriers to participating in arts and cultural activities, and what can be done to overcome these barriers? Again, what barriers exist to participating in arts and cultural activities, and what might be done to address the barriers? So we have mentioned the history of mistrust and class separation.
So, I mean, I think the barriers primarily are geographic. You can definitely talk about the class and neighborhood things, but geographic, there are a lot of larger or thoroughfares that cars travel frequently that segment the neighborhood. So, like with Mighty Writers, when they came, we talked about what schools can they outreach to, right? In South Philly, they're surrounded by a ton of schools, Catholic, charter, public, and they're actually about a mile or so away from it. But here, you put them at 39th Street and you figure, well, Belmont is only like 3 blocks away. Martha Washington is less than a mile away. McMichael and Powell and all these schools are not very far at all, but you can't imagine the kids from Martha Washington coming to 39th. It's too many streets for them to cross. So the angle of the neighborhood creates these geographic boundaries that kids are. So when you think about any kind of arts program, like the CEC is awesome, but how many kids, if they're not taken by their parents, actually get down there?
They don't even know.
Or don't even know, because
That's
it's just,
right. That's one of the problems that we had as independent artists, wanting to have caravans and things like that. But one of the major ways to get to children is through school. So we had flyers. Would you please allow us to hand these out? No. We could not. We were not a part of the Board of Ed. We were independent artists. We had a fabulous program, but we couldn't get the word out. How could, and the thing is, if it came from school, at least the schools would have already okayed us. It's not, come here, let's get your children. No, it wasn't that. Could we do it here in your auditorium? Could we, and we weren't charging. It was a way to really circulate what we loved. They would never let us do. So that kind of connection with the board, especially now that they don't have any art, why not let us introduce it?
That's where the backing of Drexel could really help.
They're backing.
And Drexel pushing the local schools to allow independent artists to have workshops.
Absolutely. And their school officials will listen. But will they listen to MCIC? Will they listen to Harvard Community Center? No. Because we got no clout, no power, no protective position. The greatest barrier is money. Okay? Because you can't do nothing in America, nothing in our communities, nothing in our families, nothing in your colleges without money. You will be cut off from the dean's list. I don't care if you're an A student, you'll be put out there because you don't have money. Money is a big problem to cover all these little cross-cultural things. Second thing is, they always want volunteers. But volunteers can't last that long, they got bills to pay too. So the lady got that dance group, does a great job. When we had our marching team, people coming out with the little sports teams and all, great things. But they run out of time because they got to get jobs, they got to do things. So volunteerism is out the picture, money's out the picture. So here we're back to your question, barriers.
And you were going to speak.
Well, so there's a lot of things that came up, a lot of which was good, definitely. So issues, barriers, back to where we got to, parents, that's one thing. I've definitely done residencies before where it was bring your parent. That was the name of the residency.
That's right.
And it was really cool. It was a drop-in Saturday program, and people would come in, grandparent and child, or parent and child, or like little families. And it was awesome. We made clay stuff, and it worked out really well. That was one thing that worked out well. In terms of getting the kids to places, right now, my coordinator from Your Arts is physically walking people from McManus to Wright Rec Center to do stuff there. So that's another thing.
Because it's only. That's geographic.
Yes, but in general, having this idea where it's like you physically have somebody pick up the kids, in a way that does a lot.
That's a blessing. That's leadership.
Yeah, in terms of volunteers, they're sure to come by. But in arts and culture, or at least definitely in the arts, jobs are short. You know what I
Right.
mean?
There you
And
go.
I definitely spent a few years before I became a lead teaching artist as an assistant. Not making that much, but happy that I had something to do
Something
with
to
the
do.
arts
Yeah.
beyond working, a regular 9-to-5 job that wasn't with my interest.
Right, right.
So there's definitely a lot of art students, which is something that you could definitely talk to with the university kids
Right,
from
right.
Drexel and from
Right.
UPenn, who maybe are coming out of programs and are looking for ways to be engaged in the community. That's definitely a way then that maybe kind of crosses back to how you stay involved in the community,
That's
maybe
right.
after you leave here. You know, I never thought I would get an education when I became an artist. It just, something that happened. I started assisting for the Claymobile about 5 or 6 years ago and loved it. Fell in love with it, and it's still something that I do all the time. And then funding's tough. Getting back to that one project, Claymobile, we actually do. I think half of our residencies are kind of scholarship based. So we're a nonprofit. We get some schools pay some money for us to come, but other ones there's a small amount of money reserved for us to come out. So there might be organizations in the city already that you can reach out to.
Right.
There's another one.
Right.
There's definitely some Reading ones we were talking
Spiral
about.
Q.
There's another one that's like performance art, and I can't remember the name of it right now. But they go to the Youth Study Center, and that's how I
Right.
know them. Community Power. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them as well.
I'm very, because I'm with the USAC Center, I'm very familiar.
Okay, yeah. So there are a lot of organizations like that, but I think like physically walking kids, parent, or like family workshop kind of things. We were talking about before about having community days. Seeing those kind of things all the time and seeing those come up, seeing open air markets, seeing just like different workshops happening. That's definitely going to get the buzz going. And Wright Rec Center, this is the first art residency that they're hosting. They primarily have that really nice basketball court.
James Wright was my basketball coach, and we named the center after him because he ran our league for many years. Many years.
Yeah.
So you have focused in on that. But does Drexel care? Does
Just to finish what I was going to say, just like one last thing, is that Robert Jackson, the rec leader there, is really adamant about starting art programs. He wants us to be the catalyst to everything. Whether I think that right now Murray Arts is looking at as a possible site to continue to go back to for this A2O program than that. Beyond that, he's just trying to start something like that because he talks about how he sees. Kids come in, maybe it's, two brothers and a sister, and maybe one brother's interested in basketball, but the other brother and sister really aren't, and they're just kind of hanging around. He has like some markers and paper, but it's not enough. And so and we have like a little side room that's shared between the library and the gym, and so that's the room that I'm kind of working out of. But I'm sure he's open to having other programs coming in, using the space on those days, doing little workshops.
Diversity.
What I want to pick up
Goes
from
in everything.
what I want to pick up from what you started talking about is overcoming the barriers.
Right.
Or I was kind of talking about what those barriers are.
I had a comment on that, as to what this gentleman was saying, that there is a difference in classes. If you're in Powelton, this is Powelton Village over this way, and this is Mansfield here. Once you cross Haverford Avenue, you're in a totally different neighborhood that you probably don't want to walk through at night. Okay, and I think a lot of what would bring these kids together is an incentive for them to get involved. A lot of kids in Mantua don't even know about what's going on this side. They don't know about CEC. They don't know about the rotunda and all the great free things they can do and get on stage. But maybe if there was some kind of incentive like an internship where they would get credits in school. These grade school kids and the college kids. Like, for instance, I have a garden, do an internship, get credits, learn agriculture, or, an incentive like a common meeting ground. I know there's a green space that's like over there someplace. It's just, City Green has these lots they clean up and they just put a picket style fence around it. Throw a barbecue and invite the neighborhood, post things. And give them an incentive to get together.
So I did, in terms of figuring out ways to do that sort of things, Spiral Q actually runs something like an elective.
The puppet theater.
Yeah, the puppet theater.
Yeah, Spiral Q.
At Powell, or at different schools, they actually get into the schools, however they did it,
Did not
to make their
Michael.
program happen.
Okay.
But, the class piece is a real thing, but at the same time, when you're in that environment, I'm sure you've seen it in the Click Studio. I see it all the time in Mighty Writers, because my daughter goes there. every kid is there from all the different schools.
Oh, man, it comes-
Like that's even the model that they
That's a great
they want to
program.
mix because they want to get that cross
It's a great program.
section.
Great program.
That's wonderful. And is it okay if we move to the next question just for time?
Go ahead. Why don't you say what you were going to say?
Thank you.
All right.
If we stick to the script, we're gonna have the same results we always have. We gotta change the script a little bit.
I teach drama to seniors, and that's another area. That's why I feel so blessed to have children and seniors. I'm a senior now. But I have a drama troupe, and I also teach chair yoga and social dance to people who are in their 80s. And they're acting, they're doing things that they never ever thought that they would ever do. I think there is a wonderful opportunity to get us off the couch, around some life, some form of inviting grandparents in. Parents will trust grandparents, maybe not as much as college students because they're young, but if they have a match where everybody's in the school, everybody's at the recreation center, and seniors have something to do. And that's why I feel very, very blessed. I'm taking our troop to do at a senior residence. We're going to perform there on Tuesday. No, they're coming to the play. And these are seniors performing for seniors. And
Where do you do the
that's,
teaching of the seniors?
Spring Garden Senior Center, 1221 Spring Garden Street. I was at Haddington.
She's everywhere.
And I was also in Haddington right here, up on 54th and Haverford.
54th and Haverford.
Yeah, huh, the fire
I was
station,
at
yeah.
21st and Christian with St. Charles Senior
Love
Center.
St. John's Skating.
Seniors are awesome. If you let them feel that there's something, and I challenge them all the time. The last play, a senior, he's probably, let me see, Adam is probably 78, and he played an 18-year-old. And his girlfriend is 81, she played his girlfriend, 18 years old. I was the mother. My husband, I think, the point is, they will play parents younger than the actual person. But the whole idea is, what else can I do? I did that? Oh, I can do anything. And they love children. So this might be a barrier that we might have to blow away, so they can at least talk.
Right.
So they can teach us, we can teach them some of the things that we learned when we were little, that they don't even know how to make a scooter out of a skate. And you remember? I mean, you remember making those skates, those scooters out of a wooden box?
Dead man
So I was saying
block.
earlier,
Dead man block.
Will.
you
Yeah.
gotta teach them some of the stuff that's dying.
Yeah.
That lost,
Yeah.
And they can share with us how to work these dead brain phones.
Or be born again. Or be born again. I see an opportunity for things to start all over again. It's a good thing. We got the right people here. We got people who care and all. But what about when the grant runs out? Then y'all guys won't be around to do the study, do whatever. The neighborhoods will stay the same or get worse. But what happens if it does get funded and we stick together, or if it doesn't get funded, we still stick together and put some pieces together through other professionalism that you guys might know, we might know, and really do something. To me, the script is the same. They're going to do a study, they're going to send the students out, they're going to get some information, they're going to put it in the record. 10 years from now, it's going to be worse than it was before. Or the script can change. Okay, let's change the script. Let's say if you really care, let's save some kids. Let's get some scholarships to some kids. Let's take the talents of some of these people here. Let's put it into a center where we can bring people in. She already knows. She sees crowd go up and down. She knows what it takes. It takes money and people who care, like the people in this room.
Well, and on top of that, it also takes getting the word out, like communicating. Like if you have events, and people don't know about it, like we were talking about before, if nobody knows about it, then people can't come, and if the volunteer force doesn't know about it, they can't help. So what are the ways that, how do you get the word out about events in this area? Or about arts and cultural
I've
activities?
gone door to door personally. I've gone door to door and had petitions signed. I've gone door to door and stuck flyers in people's doors, say, hey, we're having this, that, come on, I've just taken a 2-block span, around where my garden is and stuck flyers in people's doors, printed them up, doesn't cost anything. I work at art colleges so I can get stuff printed up, you know? It's one way.
Where I'm working at is, you know, Matt, the owner, he's been there for 40 years, but there's people in that neighborhood that have lived there for 20, 30 years and don't know he's there. You know what I mean? I want to change that. He won't put a sign out front because he's afraid, you know, if the neighborhood's bad, oh, there's stuff in there and people will break in. I don't want that. I want a sign out front.
Absolutely.
I want the neighborhood kids to come in and, you know, hear the hammer going and peek their heads in. You know, come and need something fixed? Here, I'll show you how to do it. I won't do it for you. I'll give you the tools, I'll show you how to do it. You know what I mean? I'll play, you know, I'll help them out. They had, you know, one of the little boys, 2 doors down, he had a little plastic scooter, the handle broke off. Okay. And he had to be 3, you know, whatever.
Okay.
So I got a screw and I went over to fix it. But I took his hand and I put it on the drill. You should have seen the kid's eyes light up.
Yeah, amazing.
It was from space, you know? And that little, you could start a spark, that one little thing could just put a spark in a kid's head, you know, and just, you know, change it forever. You know what I mean? It's like teaching and stuff like that. Like I want, you know, the neighborhood's up and coming, you know, I want people to know that shop's there and come in and, you know, I don't want it to be like,
Hidden.
yeah, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
I want that to be part of the community.
So do you have ideas on how you're going to establish that?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm here. Is the neighborhood getting safer? Is it, you know, are people working to get the neighborhood safer? If Drexel's making a push, you know, are they just doing it for the property value? Or are they just doing it
for student evaluation?
Well, no, I mean, you know,
programs that get
you can see if the push is coming.
Yeah.
So obviously Drexel, or whoever's making the development, realizes that this property is valuable. So that's kind of a hint to the community. So if they want it, you know, let them earn it. Don't just give it to them, let them earn it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So
well, let's partner. Like they say, this place around the corner is going to be a partnership. Well, we'll see.
So I think in terms of like trying to get things out, you know as well as I know, flyers and knocking on doors. And you can try everything, right? You got to do a little bit of it all. Is the one thing.
A little bit of it all, okay.
And then I guess when you're trying to do a little bit of it all, figure out what's the cheapest way because you can burn through a lot of dollars.
Right.
Trying to do outreach. So I guess one of the newer things is like text alerts, right? And I know Powelton Village has a really strong email list. Right, so there's an email list, there's text alerts, almost everyone has a cell phone. But then there's like the word of mouth piece.
You said the right thing.
But I guess with flying, what we did with one of the programs that we did on the avenue was Flying Kite. They came to Pikes Avenue for like 3 months. They were visible, like he's talking about. They picked the spot.
That's what I'm saying. Be
they had a nice. The spot, fortunately, was really ideal because it was all glass front, right? But they were visible. They were there. They were working all the time. They had open community hours. So people would walk by and say, "Yo, what's this?" It's like, "Oh, it's just like a pop-up writing studio, writing office. If you want to host a meeting, you can come." And so they made that connection. People started using it for meetings and everything, and then the word just spread.
So you have block parties, you have a community affair, like you said, and people see that. You can stick a note in the door, they won't pay no attention. First of all, it matters who puts it in the door. If I put it in the door, if somebody they know puts it in the door, they'll come out. But if somebody else says, same old thing, same old people, you just don't get participation like that. But you give an event, they see you doing something, you knock on the door, you offer them a program for their kids and stuff like that, and they see that it works, then word is spread. Trust me, it can work, because I've seen it work.
Joseph, did you have a comment?
I was going to kind of talk about what we were talking about here, which is visibility. Right. It's even more than just the big events. It's about like the everyday. It's about being loud and proud. It's about having that sign.
Yeah, you can't get out there every day and you put stuff in doors.
No, you can't.
You're visible. But that's what I mean. It's like, oh, you're driving down the street. Oh,
but you can.
That place was here.
You know, I think there's ways to come out of hiding in certain senses. You know, you're talking about these signs. You know, in terms of like warmer or like the nicer month, we're kind of losing those days now. But activities that are out front, you know what I mean? If there's ways of like, I'm sorry, I'd actually cut your introduction again. Al. And what do you do again?
We custom metalwork, blacksmith metalwork. Yeah. So we do everything from brass, stainless steel. You hand wrought iron.
You know, yeah, I mean, so it's not quite ideal for your trade, but it might be like, what would happen if all of a sudden, and during the spring months, there was a booth out front where some guys was working on something
That's
simple?
it, yeah.
Out front all the time, you know what I mean?
I do it in my community back home.
This
They have a community day in the park.
Yeah, you
I
come
take
out.
my forge, my little small anvil, and I'll sit there and just, make nails, hooks, whatever, give out to the kids. You know what I mean? They'll sit there, and it's just fascinating. Like, everybody's into their phones and stuff, which is great. Technology is a tool. But, when it's just, I love to see when kids just, what is that guy doing? It was fire. It was fire. It was fire.
Like the police touch museum, they want to see and touch.
That's what I
They want
mean,
to be involved.
kids.
Once you get them to make one little thing, they like ready,
Let kids be kids, man.
They're coming.
Let kids be kids,
You were gonna say something, Ken, too?
Schools cancel
Yeah.
Halloween and all this
All
kind of
that
stuff.
kind, yeah.
You know what I mean? Let kids scrape their knees, get dirty, and
Or centers closing, recreation centers closing and things like that.
And especially if it's something people are actually interested in. Just like every year we do a Christmas basket. So the first year we ever done it, I walked down there, me and my daughter, we had flyers. We gave out one flyer, we started giving out a couple, but before we can get good 3 blocks up, my phone was already ringing for the Christmas basket. Turkey, we give away turkey and all the trimmings. And they would, word of mouth, it just went just like that.
Word of mouth, yeah.
All right, and so I know you were going to say something a couple minutes ago. You also had your hand up. So let's
I think
use it.
I think does Mantua have a Facebook page already in play? I don't know. Maybe a Facebook page where you
web page or something.
a website page or whatever. Maybe
That's it. Use the technology. Use it. It's a tool.
to get the word about, get the information out. Maybe
Technology. so
maybe like a monthly
helps out.
newsletter of what's going on in the area or something like that, and it could be through social media because everybody, like you said, is on their phones.
Absolutely.
On the computer.
Children,
So-
seniors.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Andy Jenkins does a newsletter for Mantua.
Okay.
And it's very effective.
Well, yeah, I mean, if Drexel wants
But
to
his funding, he had a problem getting
do it as a webpage.
He had a problem getting a lot of stuff and all, so he doesn't do it as often as he would like.
Okay.
But why shouldn't he? When Drexel has printers and blah, 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 if they're sincere, that's all I'm saying.
All right, so what were you saying?
They have the other runs of your social
Heck of a
media.
newsletter. He had a heck of a newsletter.
All right.
Another thing, to comment on what, Alan does, being a blacksmith, is you could involve the children in making art through found metal objects.
Absolutely.
You can give them a period of time to collect all kind of stuff from wherever they find it,
Yard art.
and you can throw them. And you can show them how to weld stuff together from innards of this and innards of that, and make dinosaurs or whatever, and they could have their own little art show.
Yeah.
You show them how to weld and take stuff and make jewelry.
And
So,
one,
I mean, so that's an interesting way to think about an incentive.
Yeah.
An incentive out to everyone,
Everyone.
but you can create a nice size incentive for some sort of contest.
And there's the area community, where they have kids, and they Michael do a project, we have kids at Belmont, and have a little,
You can do
have a
that.
little
Competition.
fair where they come,
I'll
they
help
show
you.
what this school is doing. And then you got better participation in the community across
we should do it
geographical.
up here.
I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I've seen it work, and I know why it doesn't work. So I see that it can work, so I just hope that we can put something together to make it work again.
Officer Parker, when you mentioned technology and social media, does anyone here know of any social media, Facebook pages or websites that the
No.
community goes to? Does anyone use anything like that in this community?
There's a Lancaster Avenue Facebook page.
I mean, Mantua has free
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi.
The whole
Yeah.
neighborhood?
I was like, I had it on my phone one day.
Yeah, we
like,
had free Wi-Fi.
free Wi-Fi.
But it's not
It's not real
used.
strong.
It's not used.
But it's there.
But-
Isn't
Yeah,
there
use it.
a community
I don't know who does
group
it.
on Lancaster Avenue at 38 called Uhuru?
Oh, yeah.
They're involved in the community too, and they have meetings.
Yeah, you said, what was it?
Uhuru, is the word for freedom.
Okay.
And, I mean, through them, they have the flea markets out in Clark Park. And you can just, for $10, you can set up a table and sell whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also deal with community issues and African American rights and people's rights, everybody.
Everybody's got
So I guess the only
Yeah.
two things are, we have a Facebook page for Lancaster Avenue, and we just started a text.
Who?
That's PC.
Oh, okay.
People
And did
emergency.
you have a,
Yeah, James was just saying, People
Okay.
Emergency that has a website page. Saunders, was that still with Saunders Park? They kind of No. Okay, we're gonna ask that. That I know People Emergency does have a website page.
And they have a very good one.
They do.
Up by me, we all look online at the West Philly Local, but I don't see the West Philly Local really covering things that are, do you all know about the West Philly
Absolutely
Local?
not.
I know about it. I
You
think
know
West
about
Philly
it.
Local is a really good tool because it's simple, it's easy, but they don't really reach here too much. The only time they do something for Lancaster Avenue area is when PEC like
Promotes
pushes it to.
But that could be an opportunity, yeah.
So I think the other thing, well, that was the benefit of having Flying Kite in the neighborhood, because Flying Kite did a little bit of that press
Yeah.
thing. They did like a media hub,
Yeah.
so they were
Yeah.
getting stories out from the neighborhood. The other thing is that Nextdoor, I don't know if you heard of Nextdoor. Nextdoor is kind of like a private Facebook for community members. It's not really large right now. It's probably less than, no, it's a national thing.
Oh, okay.
But they
I've
chop it
Nextdoor.org?
down.
Never heard of it.
What is it?
Nextdoor.com.
Nextdoor.com.
They chop it down so that it's very neighborhood specific. And so you only have like, in West Philly, you might have something like 200, 300 people right now. But if they grow it, you have to subscribe with your real name and your real address. And if you don't have an address in the neighborhood, you have to be invited by someone
Oh,
from
in the neighborhood. Oh.
Because it's meant to be like honest communication between neighbors.
Neighborhood.
That's
You
good to
can,
know.
you have to sign up, you have to be verified. If you're not verified, you can't get into the group.
What's the boundary?
Right now, the boundaries, it's really West Philly as a whole, but it's more
There's
so
also a Palatine Village and Mansion one just started too, a couple weeks ago.
Is that right?
a email list or something like that. or
No,
Facebook page.
what you're talking about.
Okay.
Next door.
Next door, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
how they're
coming
doing
up.
overlapping stuff like that, but yeah.
So for me, I'm in the Cobbs Creek neighborhood. I would have to
Okay.
be invited by someone.
Yeah,
Okay, from that neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah, it was started in Palatine Village, I think, like a year and a half ago, and mostly the older citizens got onto it because they were trying to do like this thing where they're trying to age in place, so
Okay.
take care of each other type
Yeah,
thing.
that's good.
So that's what they're using.
Yeah, that's good.
But I've seen more and more students just trying to get into it too, but they just kind of poke in and see what it is, and there's not much going on right now. But I was just getting sent a message 2 weeks ago that their Mitchell one just started up, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Curious
Palatine
about it.
Post too, the Palatine Post, is
Yeah,
that?
newsletter, yeah.
Newsletter, that's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, they have
We
it-
get those, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
It's a
the
good
community
source.
newsletter that they put out. I mean, to fund it, they do advertising in there, so
Mhm,
it's kind
mhm.
of one of the ways they kind of get funding, because I know I advertise in there.
Okay.
I don't get much business from it, but you know, it supports the neighborhood, so
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in this text alert thing, so I'll talk to you.
Yeah, text alert for me
later.
is like the new exciting
The
thing
new norm.
because it's
The new
simple,
norm.
it's
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy.
and it's not like bothersome. You know, it's like 3 lines.
Short to the point.
There's a
Right.
limit
Yeah.
to it.
Short to the point.
Right.
Short to-
Right in your face.
Sure.
You can delete it if you want.
And how does Pleasant Grove get the word out about activities? And do you guys outreach, like for the activities, or do you guys outreach to like kids or families outside of the congregation, or is it mainly to who's already there?
Oh, no, the community.
Okay.
Community, we do flyers and stuff, and we walk around and just put the flyers in the doors. I give them to people and say, I'm walking around and stuff like that, yeah.
Okay.
And once they
Not
have
for
a
the
successful
inside of the
event,
church.
then everybody starts drawing to it because they know that it works. And they start coming.
Yeah, I think if you had somebody sponsor like a website, like Drexel sponsor a Mancho website, community
It
website,
will really work.
it just spreads like
It will work.
wildfire.
It will work.
You know, it's
It
like
will work.
a link to this, a link to your activities, a link to your
I've
activities.
seen it work.
You know
I've
what I
seen
mean?
it work. I've seen it work and it can work again.
Yeah.
Because it did, because we had, and then like you said, visual too, we had the bounce, we had cotton candy machine, popcorn machine, and we gave away clothes to the, you know, for the children, for men, for women, we gave away clothes and stuff too. So that brought a lot
That's
of,
an
you know,
incentive.
because
Okay.
people are in need.
Okay. Well, we unfortunately are reaching the end of the time. So, yeah.
So much to talk about.
I know. Yeah, so, you know, I will, you know, so we have about 2 minutes left, so if we just want to go around, and if you have any, you know, closing remarks, either, you know, anything that you just want to make sure is on the table, or anything else that hasn't been brought up, just a nice quick closing remark, and we'll go around.
I wasn't sure, you know, really what to take out of this. You know, Rachel was, she was very persistent.
Thank you.
Got my little
Rachel.
honey in here, and you know, obviously it was well worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm not from this community, but I can see, you know, the potential in it, and I'm happy to be part of it. So, you know, whatever I can do,
We're gonna,
by all means, I'll be glad to help.
And what's the address of your business again?
It's 615. I'm gonna leave some business cards.
Oh, great.
Okay,
So,
cool.
anybody wants to, contact me, whatever, sure.
And in closing remarks, as from the police department, representative from the police department, you always see the police in a negative vibe. We would want to see, more community policing. So the police department, on my behalf, the police department is here to help out. The 16th district is here to help out any which way that, this project is,
That's great.
to help out any which way.
And for mine, just everybody know where we at, 3909 Lancaster Avenue. So y'all come and visit us sometime on a Sunday or, and just come and be a part, because we just love everybody and we just welcome everybody in. Service is at 11:15 and anybody come with any ideas how to help right there at the church to help, in the community. Y'all more than welcome. Y'all know me and Louis now, so.
Yeah, and so whatever we accomplish here, we just, be prayerful that it is spread throughout this country and everybody get on board with it. And because all communities are not safe.
No.
I don't care what part of the country you go in, what part of the city. It's all as far as from the Middle East to Philadelphia, so what we accomplish here as a people, we be prayerful that it will spread throughout the country.
Think globally, act locally.
Yeah, and from my point of view, been around a long time, I've seen what works, I've seen what don't work. This could work, this is a very good idea. The right groups, I'm interested at the end of the study to see it, get the list of things and maybe reunite again with some people here and some other things to get some things going again because it's time. Right place, the right time.
We as a faculty should just let you know what we're planning to do in the next couple of months, which is that we're actually finished with the focus groups today. You guys are our 6th focus group, so thank you guys for being a part of it. Yeah. And this fantastic group, these 3 and another 1 or 2 students have conducted almost 400 surveys out in the neighborhood, just walking around, checking in with folks. We've conducted a bunch of interviews, and we're going to be compiling all of this into some findings that we'll share back out to all the people who've participated and other community leaders. And that is the end of the beginning.
Right.
That is the end of that first phase. But even just the other day, we were in an office at Drexel, in a community relations office, saying, how can we continue this? How can we expand on this work? And who are the funders that can support it? What are the initiatives? And so we don't have any answers yet, but we have those lines of communication open to try to extend and continue the work that has begun with this.
And include us in some of that because there might be some arms that we can reach out to help you continue. I'm sure it is. So, don't hesitate. We have political connections and private funders and national funders that can really make this thing work. So, along with what you guys are doing, we
bring it together. Research linked up with practice. That's the idea.
Absolutely.
So we want to just thank you so much for coming out on behalf of all of us.
Great.
These forms that you're doing are just anonymous forms to help us write down in the study. We had 60 people at the focus groups, this many men, this many women, this ages, things like that. So that's just an anonymous piece. And is there anything else that we need to let people know about?
The one thing I want to ask everyone, I'm so glad that we had you in, and Lyric was checking everyone in this morning, but I need to get your mailing addresses so that we can make sure that you get the gift card for your time being here. So just catch up with me before you head out, and we're going to jot down whatever mailing address you want us to send the gift card to.
If I can
Already had it.
Go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, go ahead, because this is important.
I just feel that it doesn't take a jet science to let us know what's going on. The children, the seniors, they are open. They've already given their needs. If we ignore softball, they can't hide it anymore. And at this point, it's going to work against each other if we don't stay together. We have a job.
Yes.
We've enjoyed ourselves being together. We basically kind of know who you are. I enjoy being with you. And I really am thankful to Jimmy and Rachel to just sort of call us in. And it's been inspiring, and I don't want it to die. Really don't.
You meant to hear what he said.
I just wanted to say thank you guys. I'm happy to be part of this, you know, especially with my short little stay in Mantua. There's such great, there's such great energy, and it's awesome. And there's a lot of possibility and everything. And I just wanted to plug one more time the residency that I'm doing. I have a bunch of these flyers here if anybody wants to take any or leave them in your place of business. And I also have applications to join the program for anybody who works with youth 10 to 15 years old or knows maybe a good place to be. I just wanted to leave those around. The community days are kind of geared towards everybody coming out and kind of seeing what we're doing. And the first one's November 9th from 10 to 1, and the second one is December 14th from 10 to 1, and those are both Saturdays. So if you guys want to stop in, just see what we're doing, see what the kids are doing. I'm sure they would just appreciate just any kind of traffic coming in. We're gonna have little activities as well. But yeah, I mean, either way, there's, you know, like I think you were saying, it's the end of the beginning kind of thing, you know. So there's a lot of possibility from start. But I'll just leave this here on the tender if anybody wants to wrap up.
All right, and you wanted to say something?
Thank you.
as well?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. I think this is a positive thing to have.
Great.
And since I do have this garden around the corner that's in flux, and coincidentally, it was bought out from under me by a developer who is a
Drexel
graduate
grad.
of Drexel. Okay, and one of the last things we were told required by City Hall was to get approval through Powelton Village Civic Association. And the same developer went through Powelton Village Civic Association and got approved to buy my garden because nobody knew about us.
Right.
Even though we won awards through PHS and whatnot. So we're looking for permanent green space in the neighborhood
Got a couple sites for
to
you.
continue this, and anybody that wants to get involved in this, I'm willing to exchange numbers with and collaborate with, and I would like to get involved with Powelton Village Civic Association also. I don't know if it's too late, but yeah,
Meetings are always open.
definitely
There's Paulton Baptist
interested.
Church,
Yes.
third Monday
Okay.
at 7:30.
All right. So, and that's for me. I'm just glad to have this opportunity to be heard. And if anybody wants to read the interview they did with the Daily
I have
News
it.
with me,
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
And Louis, did you want to say something?
Last week.
No, the biggest thing about this whole meeting and everything is just to come together collectively and support one another in all of the activities that we're giving. And that will bring other people. They will say, hey, well, where y'all going? Well, we're going to this event that, you know, so-and-so is having. So once we support one another, everybody else in the community will join in. And they will see the activity that's going on, and they will be more active in the events that's going on in the area.
Wonderful.
Would it be all right with everybody if we had a list of each other? Since we might get each other's names, or if you want to have something.
Thank you.
No, yeah, that's no problem. I mean, we can't share your information with each other because you are anonymous
Right.
to the study, but you can share information too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All right, and yeah, so that closes that. So thank you guys all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. You guys are busy. I'm going as well. Very.